This podcast may seem cool for about 5 seconds. Actual coolness levels may drop after your dad tries to use TikTok slang.
Hey, welcome to Dad Space. Nice to have you here. So now with our warnings at the beginning of every episode, just to make sure that you're all safe here on Dad Space, because we want to make sure that it's a space for dads, by dads, and it's a safe space. So now we have free warnings for all you dads at the beginning. I hope you enjoy those. That's Dave having fun with technology. Anyways, I want to give you a hug. Yeah, you look like you need a hug. So I want to give you a hug. A virtual hug, I guess, because you're not here. Just me and my cat, and my cat's having a bath over in the corner. Enjoying it. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to give you a hug here on Dad Space, and I want to teach you the power of a hug and how long that hug should be. Disney has a suggestion for you. Thanks for being here on Dad Space. Here we go. So I was watching a clip about the apparent rule at Disney about when the characters, the ones dressed up walking around, those are people inside of those costumes, right? Just in case, I didn't want to spoil it for you. And you're like, wait, that's not really Mickey Mouse? No, actually, Mickey Mouse is a cartoon character, and that's not Mickey. Anyways, there's a rule at Disney. Now, I've never worked at Disney, and if you have, you can either debunk this rule or reinforce this rule that Dave's not, making this all up. But the Disney hug rule is an unofficial but widely recognized guideline observed by Disney characters at the parks when a child runs up to the character and initiates a hug. Oh, what a moment, right? Yeah. The character apparently does not let go until the child decides that the embrace is over. So the character commits to continuing to hug the child until the child says, we're done here. This rule is rooted in empathy and kindness and ensuring that the children feel fully comforted and emotionally supported during their magical experience at Disney. And I think that's actually, if this is really truly a fact and really a rule, it's a great rule. And even if it's not, it's still a great principle that the characters continue to hug the child until the child is done hugging. Now, children can hug for a while. So I'm looking at you, Dad, going, when's the last time your little one ran up and gave you a hug? You came home from work, you walked into the room, and they ran over and hugged you. And in that moment, you were on the phone, checking out TikTok, you were responding to an email, your boss just called you. All these things are happening, and your child's hugging your leg and won't let go. And you're like kind of shaking your leg, trying to get them off your leg. And you're like, come on, I got stuff to do. I'm thinking, and I'm proposing to us as dads, that we implement the Disney hug rule into our house, into our home. And not just for our kids, but also for our partner, our wife, the person that we love the most, that we initiate this Disney hug rule. I think it's something that all of us could probably learn from, and something we can implement today, ongoing from this point forward. And if you're not a hugger, sorry, but you need to become one, because this connection that your kids have with you through the power of a hug is meaningful. This rule is definitely, like I said, rooted in empathy and kindness. And I think that all of us as parents need to demonstrate empathy and kindness with our kids. They need to see it from us first. If we ever want them to demonstrate it in real life to others, they need to see it at home first. So my challenge for you this week, today, in the next 15, 20 minutes, that you demonstrate this hug rule and put it into place. Have a conversation with your partner about this and say, hey, I heard this on Dad Space. I think we need to try it. It's the Disney hug rule. And then share the episode with them. Maybe they can listen as well. I just think it's really interesting that Disney, if this is true, has this in place for the characters as a guideline. Because again, remember, those characters in those big suits, they can't see very well, and for most part. So they can't see who's hugging them, who's beside them, who's around them. And it's for them to be intentional with these guests, these children, when they run up and give that big hug to their favorite Disney character. I think it really, this hugging until the child is done hugging acknowledges that the child may need the hug for as long as they choose, because you never know how much that child actually really needs that hug and the bond that's created there. Again, our kids have seen these characters on TVs and movies, and now they're standing there right in front of them. Like, how do you process that? They've come off the screen on my TV or whatever, and now they're literally standing in front of me. I don't know what to do. So they run up and hug these characters. These characters are trained to hold the hug patiently. That's one key word here, patiently. Making the guests feel valued and loved, which creates a lasting memory for the families, for the children as they visit the parks. It's not, from what I can see, it's not a strict official policy, but it's purposeful. And it reflects Disney's commitment to connecting with guests and providing a warm environment in the parks. So how do we apply this Disney hug rule to our homes? We can apply it as a parent, especially for dads with our children, and in our loving relationships with our wives and our partners. It suggests a powerful lesson in love and care and connection, that we should be patient with these huggable moments when our kids run up to us. We need to be patient in that moment with them. They're creating a bond and an opportunity to connect. And as an empty nester, I can tell you, you're going to miss those days. I just got to put it out there. Those big, super hugs that feel weird in the moment because you're preoccupied. You're not really all in it in the moment. I get it. You're going to miss them. I'm telling you, you are going to miss them. So soak them up. And the beautiful thing is your kids grow up and maybe one day they'll have kids and you get to do it all over again as grandparents. And that's fun. I have 2 grandchildren, Delilah and Wesley, and we're going to see a lot of them coming up in the next few weeks, months. So I'm going to have lots of grandpa time, and that's going to be a lot of fun because now I get to do it all over again and maybe do it better than when I was a dad, because my kids are grown up now, right? And it is what it is. And I didn't have Dad Space back then because there was no such thing as podcasting back then today. And I really wish I had this show when I was a young dad. I could have learned so much. We need to not only apply this Disney hug rule to our kids, we need to apply it to our wife and our partner. When they need a hug, they need a hug. And it's the best feeling when you can connect with somebody in that way and not be so transactional, right? You're making a moment in time, and that person is your priority, and you're being patient. You're taking your time. You're not rushing through this like a to-do list. It's you being emotionally available to your family as a dad, allowing them to lean in for comfort and support without rushing away onto the next thing. For dads, I think this Disney hug rule really embodies the nurturing process that we need to provide in our presence with our family and our unconditional love for the kids in our home. Just being there physically and emotionally until the child naturally pulls away and off to the next thing. builds trust and secure bond. And if you make time and you make yourself available for this, you'll get more of it. And who doesn't want hugs? Like, what's wrong with you if you don't want a hug? In our relationship with our wives and our partners, adopting the spirit of the Disney hug rule advocates for a sustained emotional presence for our partner and affection. It means like holding on emotionally and physically, being patient with our loved ones, those that we're romantically in love with, and giving them their emotional and physical needs in that moment by being patient and recognizing that our partner needs closeness and reassurance just as much as our kids do. So I want you to become a hugger. That's my challenge for you as a dad. I want you to become a hugger and apply this Disney hug rule for your next hug. I think this approach is going to help strengthen your intimacy between you and your partner and your children, and it's going to foster a deep sense of being loved, of being valued. Dad cares about me in this moment. Dad's making time for me. He's patient. He's showing me that I'm the most important thing in the moment. And it helps to reinforce this respectful and empathetic partnership that we have with our partners, and demonstrates what empathy looks like to our kids so that they can model it based on our demonstration for their kids and for their family one day. I think it's something we need to think about. So how do we put this into practice for our kids? What can we do? Something practical. Obviously, we can just be more of a hugger. That's a first step. But dads can really put this Disney hug rule into place and never be the first one to let go when hugging your kids. That's it. That's how simple this is, guys. This is how simple it is. As a powerful tool for teaching emotional safety and trust, you be the last to let go. Kids let go first. I think this approach really communicates to children that their feelings and their needs are important and respected, and allows them to decide when they are ready to end the moment of closeness and continue with their day. By consistently hugging until the child lets go first, dads send a really clear message without saying a word that our kids are safe and that my dad is patient and my dad is attentive. My dad is here. He's present. And this promotes confidence and reassurance for your children. They know to come to you. And when your kids turn into teenagers, the world is going to do everything that can to separate you from your kids. You need to create that environment where they feel accepted from day one, from the moment they need you. Some practical ways to apply this rule. Always let children end the hug, no matter what their age. This transfers a sense of control, respect, security to the child, and their comfort is your priority. Use hugs as moments of genuine connection. Be fully present. Reinforce emotional safety by embracing feelings, whether the child is sad, excited, or anxious. That lingering hug is power. And promote bodily autonomy and consent by allowing your kids to choose when the affection ends. They have a choice. They're in control of this interaction. And integrate this practice into daily routines before school, bedtime, during moments of distress, when you come home from work. Turn each hug into a brief but impactful lesson in trust and comfort. And how does all this build emotional safety? Children learn that expressing their emotions is safe through the power of a hug. And their parents are available for support when this stuff happens, when this happens on a regular basis. Essential ingredients for secure attachment come through the power of a hug, and a Disney hug at that. I think it's a gentle and intentional act that we can do as dads that can lower anxiety for our kids when they're feeling anxious. a hug can be such a great eraser and foundation for our kids. It'll help with their self-esteem. It'll help to enhance your child's ability to communicate their feelings. And again, they'll know to come to you first. And as dads, when we model this rule, it also encourages positive relationships and open dialogue, helping our kids to feel protected and nurtured for the long term. For dads with daughters, this is a great building opportunity to demonstrate how a man could support a woman, because your daughter's going to become a woman someday and grow up, and you're going to help create a foundation for her on what a good man is and being open and available to her when she needs it the most. So you get the chance to build that out now by how you show up for her. And you get to demonstrate to her what a good guy looks like, so she can have that as a point of reference when she grows older. I think that by making every hug an opportunity for unconditional presence and connection and patient love, as dads, embeds a lifelong lesson of trust and safety. And it also brings us closer to our partner, to our wife. So today is the day, guys. Enough talking, enough listening, and time to act. Today is the Disney Hug Day. And your kids are going to look at you funny, but go and be that huggable dad for your family. And don't let go until your kids let go. And I would love to hear your response. If you've never done this before, if that's not who you are, who you have been to date, I'd love to hear what happens. Over at dadspace.ca, tell me, how did your family respond? How did your wife respond? How did your son respond? How did your daughter respond to that patient hug? What was the result? It's the Disney hug rule. And I think that you and I can really benefit from this today. Whether your kids are at home, they're young, you got teenagers, you're an empty nester like me, you're a grandpa. Everyone can do this. And again, don't forget your partner. It's time to implement this Disney hug rule. It's time to do it. So, what's stopping you? Nothing. And I can't wait to hear what happens when you put this into place. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here for Dad Space. More great episodes. And in November, a daily episode of Dad Space. Because there's a podcast challenge to do a daily episode, and it's Movember in the month of November. So it's all about men's mental health, men's physical health. We're going to be talking a lot of stuff about dads and men coming up in November. Stick around, 30 episodes in 30 days. It's a lot of Dad Space. And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. If you know a dad, tell them about Dad Space. Take care. Hey, thanks for sticking around here to the end of Dad Space. I appreciate you for pressing play and being a part of our community at dadspace.ca is the website, as always. And if you are interested and you'd like to fill up our cup, because dads, we drink coffee. So, hey, anytime you feel the need to say, I want to give David coffee, I would love it. I would appreciate it. I take 2 cream in my coffee, no sugar, because it's not a soda for our American friends. It's a coffee. Just cream. What do you take in your coffee? Let me know. Dadspace.ca. If you want to support the show, there's a buy me a coffee right there. Love to fill up my cup, and I thank you in advance. And thank you for being part of Dad Space. We'll talk soon.